um, for AA Resume multipurpose company. I would not know if you all can hear me. Please confirm if I'm audible.
Yes, you are. Good morning.
Good morning to you. All right. Um, this section, just like the previous one that we had for the UK, this section is going to be basically the whole process that involves you relocating to Germany with your family, the whole process involved, the documentation and every other information you need to know before you process your um, application to Germany. Please, this session is sponsored by AA Resume multipurpose company. Just like I said earlier, my name is Prosper. I will be your host for this Germany presentation webinar session. I will be dishing out relevant information for you. So, without further waste of time, I have my colleagues also, some of my colleagues also that have joined, particularly Divine. You'll be hearing our voice shortly. Divine, please can you say hi to everybody?
Hello, everyone.
That's Divine. So you'll be hearing more of our voice after my section. So, yes, I'll be sharing my screen now. I would like for you to confirm if you can see my screen. You can just drop an emoji if you can see my screen. Yes. Okay. So can you see my screen, please? Do if you can see my screen. All right. Thank you, Pelumi. Thank you, Didi. All right. So, yes. Thank you, Labanke. Yes. Studying for a master's in Germany as a Nigerian student with dependents, a guide to academic admission, family migration, and life learning. All right. So, it's no news that everybody wants to travel overseas, and there has been more like a shift. The top three countries, Canada, US, UK, now because of their tight, is it seems as if it is getting hard as the day goes by. Okay, so that is why EA Resume multipurpose company is here to give you an alternative and to give you an alternative. So, um, yes, so studying for a master's in Germany as a Nigerian student. Is block account the biggest barrier standing between you, your dream, and your dream country, you relocating to Germany as well as your family? Why study in Germany? Now, Germany is known to host high quality and high standard institutions. Germany is globally recognized for its academic standards and cutting-edge research output. The country is home to best-ranked universities in the world, such as University of Munich, University of Freiburg, RWTH University, and some other well and renowned institutions. So, what do you stand to gain by opting in for Germany as your destination country? You stand to have access to state-of-the-art facilities. You get to have access to do this state-of-the-art facility will facilitate your research and your study experience generally will compare to what we have in Nigeria and some other countries too. So you have able and reputable professors that would be would be dishing out relevant information, would be holding classes with you because these professors, these renowned lecturers have worked around the industry as well as academics, so they know how to strike the balance. So you get to know the practical knowledge as well as the theoretical knowledge about whatever you're going to be studying. Then you have collaboration with global industries and institutions, collaboration with global industries and institutions. There are several industries, there are several companies out there that at a point in use in your study in Germany, they would have to invite some of these people from the industry to also come and give information to you, to come and lecture you. So you have that balance. It will not just be theoretical. It will not just be something that you'll not be able to relate with outside of the classroom. So this would is also part of what you are going to enjoy opt in for Germany as your destination country. Then low or no tuition fees in public institutions. Yes. Um, Virtually all, like 90 to 95% of all the public institutions, they have low tuition fee or no. Some institutions they would require you to practically not pay any tuition. You not have to pay tuition fee for your studies. That's for public institutions. But for private institutions, you have to pay a token. So in the course of this presentation, I'll be shedding more light to it. Unlike every other countries, the likes of UK, the likes of United States of America, the likes of Canada, they have to pay huge sum of money to get tuition. I mean, to make your tuition fee. In Germany, it is low or no tuition fee for public institutions. So I have here that students generally pay only a small semester contribution fee of around 150 to 350 euros, which covers administration costs and transportation within the city, compared to the other countries like United States of America, the UK, Canada, and some other countries too. This drastically lowers educational expenses. Then you have some specialized programs, especially in English or private institutions, that may not charge tuition fee. Okay, whereas there are some that will charge tuition fee, but it is extremely low. It is very low and affordable for an average international student that is considering migrating to Germany. So another feature is that you have English taught programs. So many people have this misconception when you talk about Germany, they will be like, "Oh, I do not understand German. I don't understand their language. So how am I going to, how am I going to flow along? How am I going to get along with classes and mix with people?" You have English taught programs so that it's not basically for the nationals, it's not basically for the indigenes. So for those that are coming from other English speaking countries, they can leverage on that. So it's only the language that they employ in teaching is not only German. You have other options, English taught programs that are available. So when you want to study, when you want to go for search at a Résumé multipurpose company, that's what we are going to do. We are going to filter out um, programs that are taught in English, and we're going to send that to you, because if you want to do that yourself, you might not be able to distinguish properly which program is taught in English, which is taught in German. But at ARS, we mean multipurpose company will get that covered for you. Then they have generous post-study work permit and settlement options. There are some countries that will be like, when you're done with your studies, you leave their country. You leave their country. But Germany allows international students to stay for 18 months after graduation to look for job related to their studies. Which after getting a job that's related to your studies, you can now work on your papers, you changing your resident status. Then once you find a job, you can apply for resident permit for employment or an EU blue card. Then after working for 33 months or just 21 months with strong German language skills, that means after working for that period of time, you're going to be assessed, because if you're considering staying back in Germany after your studies and you have spent about 33 months or 21 months, you are expected to have fully understood their language, because for you to infuse yourself with the cultural norms, values, and traditions of the place, you need to fully understand that language. And so it is more like a compulsory requirement for a permanent residence. So then you have international multicultural society. Germany rather is home to over 350,000 international students from across the globe. So you have people from different countries coming together to study in Germany. So, as a Nigerian, you will find access to Nigerian communities, churches, and cultural groups. So, it's basically home from home. You're not in Nigeria, but then you're seeing your fellow Nigerians. They have groups, they have churches, they have cultural associations. They have African markets and restaurants that you can get your food from. And some people that will be like, okay, I'm longing to eat, I'm longing to eat swallow. You have access to that even while you are away from Nigeria. Then there is
Have you started
inclusion
Jojo?
in there is inclusion. Please, can you
I said,
mute your mic? All right. Please, can you mute your mic, please? Okay, thank you. So, cultural diversity makes the transition to life in Germany smoother and welcoming. So now, overview of the master's program. Yeah, master's program typically in Germany spans for 2 years. 2 years, 4 semesters, depending on the programs. There are some that run for 16 months, there are some that run for 18 months, but basically it's 2 years and 4 semesters. The languages that is being employed or that's being used as a medium of instruction is English or German, depending on the program, just like I stated earlier. And we have different types of programs um, um, being taught here. We have masters of engineering, we have masters of science, we have masters of art, we have some other programs too. Okay, so they employ different teaching methods or teaching styles, seminars, practicals, group work, independent research, assignments, and all. So you would ask me that what are the common fields, common areas that Nigerians to submit applications to? They submit applications for engineering programs, for IT related programs, business related programs, health science, environmental studies. Basically, so long as you have a background knowledge in that area or you have a work experience, um, you can apply to any of these programs or the ones that you qualify for. So, what are the entry requirements? Bachelor's degree. You must have a bachelor's degree that meets with their standard, Reason being that there are some countries that their bachelor's degree are often regarded as an associate degree, not a bachelor's degree. For example, if you're coming from um, Benin Republic, or if you went to a Benin Republic university, now there's your bachelor's degree is regarded or as it is relevant to their own associate degree. Okay, it doesn't meet up with their bachelor's degree. So if you're coming up with such a degree or such a degree from that country, such a university from Benin Republic, your application might not be eligible for a master's program. So for CGPA, there's a need for you to meet up with minimum of 2.5. Please, can you mute your mic? Thank you. Okay, so if you're coming from an institution rather that they employ 5.0 grading system, your CGPA must be 2.5 and above for you to be eligible for the master's program in Germany. Then some universities would require that you provide an IELTS or English language proficiency test. But because of the partnership that we have with these institutions, they have provided more like a waiver. So if you are submitting an application directly from your end, you might not enjoy the waiver. You might need to sit down and write any of these English tests, TOEFL, IELTS, or any other English test. But if you're using us, AA Resume, as your agent to submit your application, be this will definitely be waived for you. So you have other requirements such as your transcript and certificate, your bachelor's degree, your bachelor's transcript. You would need your statement of purpose, which we would handle that for you if you are considering us as your plug. Then you have your CV. There are some schools that will require a letter of recommendation. There are some that will provide a waiver for that or that will not require. Then you need a valid international passport, minimum of 6 months to expiration. Your um, your international passport must be valid. Uh, minimum minimum to expiration should be 6 months. Yes. So just like I mentioned earlier, the tuition fee for public institutions, you have tuition. They have free tuition fee, or their tuition fee is relatively low, like low, 15 to 350 euros. But for public institutions, you have them within the ranges of 5,000 to 20,000 per year. Okay, which of course most Nigerians would want to avoid that definitely. Why would you want to go for a private institution where you have to the same quality of knowledge that you are going to acquire from a private institution is what you're going to get from a public institution, and public institution is offering a low or a free tuition fee. So except if you are rich enough, financially buoyant enough, you can opt in for private university. But most of Nigerians do not opt in for private universities because of the tuition, the high tuition fee. So now, so many people will be like, I know that you might have been hearing block account, and that has been the limitation to so many people that will want to opt in for Germany. But before the commencement of this webinar, I conducted a mini research to know to see the numbers of people that would want to be interested in Germany, and I noticed that a lot of them they have issues with blocked account. A lot of them know that public institutions offer low or free tuition fee, but it is this block that is the blocker. I'll be shedding more light on this in this slide. So, what a blocked account? A blocked I would give an overview. So it's more like an account that you will be opened for you by the German government, and you would have to deposit your proof of living expense there, depending on the kind of visa that you are going for. Because if you're going for a student visa, there are different categories, and because of this presentation, I will make mention of those categories and provide clarity on that. So minimum of 11,000, close to 12,000 euros is expected to be in that block account. So the reason, the reason it's called block account is that you would not have access to this fund. They will be the one to open an account for you. You'll be the one to deposit the money there, and you not have access to it until you get there. So when you get there, you can have access to certain amount of money every month out of this account. Okay, so when you get there, they are going to provide a way through which you can be able to withdraw little. They will definitely inform you that you cannot withdraw more than this amount. So the reason it is blocked is that you don't have unrestricted access to it. You have a restricted access to that account. It is when you get there that you'll be withdrawing a certain amount of money from that account. So that's why it is tagged blocked account. So I wrote here that for students, the main applicant is 11,904 per year, which on a monthly basis, 992 euros per month. So when you have that multiplied by 12, you have 11,904 per year. So yeah, you can move with your dependents to Germany
to study there. So now this block account is only for the main applicant. Kindly note that it is only for the main applicant. It doesn't cover for the dependent. Okay, so for the dependent, they would need the proof of fund, the normal proof of fund that they would have to open a Nigerian account and deposit that amount, minimum of 5,400 to 6,000 um, euros per year. So you would ask me that who is a dependent? Okay, so name implies a dependent. A dependent is somebody that is not the main applicant. For example, in a family of maybe four, um, a father, a mother, and two children. All right. Now, let's say, for example, the father is the main applicant. Okay, the mother and the two kids are dependent. All right, they are depending on the main applicant. So, for the main applicant will need 11,904 to pay in a block account. For the dependents, for the spouse, 5,000 to 6,000 euros per year uh, is what is expected for the client and for the spouse to provide. Then uh, for the children to 4,800 to 6,000 per child. So if you're going with maybe three children now, you have to multiply that by three. Do you understand? So please, I need to say this at this juncture. If you have any question whatsoever, or you need me to go back to any particular um, area that is not clear to you, please kindly note this aspect down as I move on with the presentation. When it's time, you please feel free to call my attention back to that. So now, I've talked about the admission process. I've talked about the local campuses, the universities, and the tuition fee and all. Now, how about the visa process? Okay, before I proceed with the visa process, we help with your visa applications through at AA Resume. So if you want the whole package, we've got you covered right from the statement of purpose writing, application document evaluation, application submission, visa process, and all. We've got you covered. There's no need for you to look elsewhere. We are here for you. So now, visa application process. Do you need visa to study in Germany? Yes, you need visa to study in Germany, especially if you're coming from this part of the world. Although there are exceptions to which there are some specific countries like Switzerland, Iceland, Norway, and some other countries. So you don't need visa. All you need is your national ID card. That is enough. But if you're coming from Nigeria as well as other African countries and other countries outside of these four countries that is mentioned in this presentation, you would need a visa. And the next question: what type of visa do international students in Germany need? Right. So back to this, I made reference to this earlier. There are basically two types of student visas that you can apply for depending on what stage you are. Now, this is it. Now, for a student visa, you are expected to have obtained an offer letter from the school. Once you submit your application, you provide all the required documents and all, and the school evaluates your document and they find you admissible. Okay, and they release an admission offer to you. You are expected to take this admission offer and proceed to the next phase, to run your blocked account to apply for your visa. So this is student visa, and student visa is valid for 3 months. Is valid for 3 months, and after 3 months, you can apply for your resident permit to stay for the entire program. So, student visa is meant for admission offer holders, and it is valid for 3 months. Okay, so that 3 months gives you an ample period of time to um, get into Germany and settle down before you process your resident permit. Then you have the second category is student applicant visa. Student applicant visa. This category is just for those that have submitted their application to the institution or to their universities, but they are yet to get an offer letter or acceptance letter. So that means that they have not even paid their tuition deposit. Okay, so because before you pay your tuition, before you process your admission, or sorry, before you process your visa, you are expected to have made payment of your tuition deposit to the school, and the school is expected to have confirmed that okay, on your offer letter you will see that you are expected to pay this particular amount of money to secure your position or to secure your space with the school. Otherwise, you know that there are so many applicants that would put forward their application. So once you get your admission offer, you are advised to pay your tuition deposit to secure your place with the school. So once you do that, the next phase is to start your visa application, and the school confirms that. So for those that have not gotten admission offer, automatically there's no way they can pay their tuition deposit. So those that have not gotten the admission offer are to apply for student applicant visa. And the reason for that is, for example, if they want um, to study in Germany, for example, because those German programs, they have a subsidized, if you're going to study in a private institution, for example, they give preference to those that wants to study in German. Okay, so now for me, for example, if I want to study in German language, I can decide to go there ahead before I get my admission offer to go there to study German. Okay, because this is the language of the program that I want to go and study. So as an applicant or a student applicant client, or a student that is seeking student applicant visa, you would need some other documents which is different from the student visa. I hope that is clear enough. The basic difference is that for a student visa, you need you might have gotten an offer letter and you might have paid the tuition deposit. Okay, so you can proceed to apply for the student visa. But for student applicant, you would need to, there's no need for you to get an admission offer. Okay, that one, that student visa is student applicant visa is also valid for 3 months, and it can be extended. It's valid for 3 months and it can be extended. And it can also be converted. Maybe when you get there, you now have your admission offer. You can pay your tuition deposit there in Germany and you can convert it to resident permit. Okay, so for student applicant visa, it can also be converted. The visa can be extended, but for student visa, it cannot be extended. After 3 months, you're expected to have processed your resident permit within that 3 months. So now, what are the documents needed for the visa application? Number one, you need a completed visa application forms. So, which is provided on the website, their German embassy or consulate website. You need a valid passport. You need a recent biometric photos, which must be of the size between 35 in width and 45 in height. And your face in this photo must be clearly visible and should occupy 70 to 80% of the picture, right? Then for student visa, just like I mentioned, for student visa, you need your acceptance letter from the German institution. You need your acceptance letter. So once you pay the tuition deposit, the school confirms the receipt of the tuition deposit, you'll be issued an acceptance letter. So for student applicant visa, you need an application confirmation. An application confirmation is a page that is showing that your application has been submitted, that your application has been submitted for this particular program, for this particular intake. You would need that, which is meant to show that you have submitted an application indeed, or a correspondence from the school via your email address that has been created for you um, with the school, or your personal email address. Then you need proof of financial resources. So for a regular student visa, you would need 11,904 euros, just like I mentioned. For a student applicant visa, you would need 13,902 to be in your blocked account. Okay, So that's also one of the differences. In terms of the amount that will be in your blocked account, for a student visa, you need 11,904 euros. For a student applicantship visa, you need 13,902 per year. Yeah. So this what is a blocked account? Okay. I've earlier explained that. Okay, it is termed blocked because you cannot withdraw the full amount once, and instead you can only withdraw a fixed monthly amount. The funds are blocked for the purpose of controlled monthly access. Controlled monthly access. So you have restricted amount of money that you can have access to every month. Okay, so Germany requires this account to ensure that you have sufficient financial resources to live in their country, to prevent you from becoming financially dependent on the state, to demonstrate your ability to pay for rent, food, transport, and insurance. So I would add that it also shows that you will not pose any financial threat to anybody within uh, the province or within the vicinity where you reside. So how much must be in the blocked account as of 2025 for student visa, just like I mentioned, 11,904 for student applicant visa, 13,094. So they are going to open the account with a government approved provider. So that's the process of you getting your blocked account. Either you do that or they do that. Okay, you're going to deposit the required amount for 12 months. Okay, once your visa is approved and you arrive in Germany, you can only withdraw 992 euros per year. So there will be a question that, okay, what if my visa is refused? Okay, so what happens to the fund? The fund will be refunded to you. The fund will be refunded to you. So you must show proof of the blocked account during your visa application at the German embassy. You may also be asked to show confirmation document from the bank. You may also be asked to show confirmation document from the bank. Then if your study lasts more than 1 year, you must top up the account again. Yeah, if your study lasts for more than 1 year, you must top up the account again. So for dependents, for spouse and children, Germany does not publish a single flat fee for dependents like it does for students. So for a spouse now, you must show out of the proof of fund that you have 700 euros monthly, and for children, 500 to 700 euros monthly, depending on the age. Depending on the age. So another means um, of getting financial proof is declaration of commitment, which is also known as declaration of sponsorship. So this is a document that is provided by a German resident or somebody that's already in Germany, okay, that that assures you, okay, that he or she will be responsible to provide financial support to you during your stay in Germany. Okay, so through they are going to request for some documents from your sponsor. They are going to definitely request for some documents to show that the person is also financially capable to sponsor you. So I'm trying to rush because of time. I have 5 minutes more. So now, for this is an average amount that is expected to be in your account if you are considering traveling with your dependents, especially for two dependents. You are considering traveling with two dependents. So for 700 per month for dependent one and dependent two. So for 12 months, it's 8,400. Okay. So for the two dependents, it's about 16,800. Okay. So all in all, what you are expected to put or to gather for this proof of fund purpose, the 19,904 will be block account, and the 8,400 for one dependent, 8,400 for another dependent. So all in all, you should prepare about 28,704. So you would need also letter of motivation or statement of purpose, okay, which is a mandatory document that is requested by all local German embassy. okay, which you have to convincingly demonstrate your motivation to come into Germany to seek admission to a specific program and to explain why you should be given an opportunity to study in Germany. You know, a lot of people, it will not be a one-on-one interview section. Okay, you will not be there to defend some of these documents that you are providing. So you need a letter of motivation so that it can defend your document for you. All right. So you need your CV, which is used for the visa application as well as the um, admission application. And I need to add that it should be an updated CV, an updated CV. Okay. You getting to stop, maybe your work experience stopped maybe 2023. You need to update it. What are you doing currently at the moment? If you are into business, you specify there. Okay, if you are a CEO of that business, you put it there and you highlight the job functions. Then you need proof of health insurance. Then you need proof of language skills. And here, most times, a letter of English proficiency usually suffice for it, so long as your the medium of instruction in your school is English. All right. Um, then you need certificate of your past academic achievement. For example, if you're applying for a master's program, you need to provide certificate of your undergraduate degrees and secondary school certificate. So if you are using WAEC or NECO for your secondary school O level, you would need the certificate. So if you have a printout, you are advised to get the scratch card and print your document, right? Then bring dependents to Germany. Who call dependents? A married individual is to bring dependents. So you must be legally married by presenting your marriage certificate. So if you have a church wedding certificate, it doesn't suffice. It cannot work until you get your marriage certificate, legal marriage certificate from the court. From the court, then children under the age of 18. So what do they need? They need passport, marriage certificate for your children. You need your birth certificate, financial proof, then proof of accommodation. Yes. If you're moving to, if you're a dependent that you want to join your husband, you need a family unification visa. Family unification visa is what would enable you to go and join your husband, or would enable you to go and join your family there. So for you, you would need to provide a proof of accommodation. Where are you going exactly? And even as an applicant, so you must have secured your hostel accommodation or a place where you're going to be. Okay, so the processing time is the same as student visa or longer. So life in Germany for Nigerians, you have free public education for your children. You have access to high quality health care. Then you have safe and organized society. You have Nigerian communities and associations in many countries, in many cities, I beg your pardon, across Germany. So you don't feel isolated, you don't feel alone. You have an association that you can mingle with. So can the main applicant work while studying? The answer is yes. You can work while studying. You have a part-time work, 12 to 15 euros per hour, that will pay you 12 to 15 euros per hour. Then internships are awarded depending on the program that you're going for. So can the spouse work in Germany? Yes, the spouse have unlimited number of hours to work in Germany, and you would have to, if you want to join your husband, because normally you cannot go together. So your husband will go first, then you will join your husband or your family on family unification, just like I mentioned. Then you can have unlimited number of hours to work as a dependent. Okay, because as a main applicant, you would have to shuffle between your academics and your work. So you have to create a balance. So that is why a spouse or a dependent can work unlimited number of hours, while an applicant, the main applicant, have restricted number of hours to work. So there are various scholarship programs available. You have DAT scholarship programs available. You have Erasmus Mundus scholarship and some other scholarship programs, so that they can give you tuition, they can give you full tuition, they can even give you additional expenses. For example, if you're going for a public into a public university now, and you get this scholarship, they can even give you the scholarship can be span up to like 10,000 euros. You can even use that to your own advantage. So there are several scholarship programs available. Even if you are still applying to a public institution, they will still give you scholarship, which is based on merit basically, and the other yardsticks that they use in awarding the scholarships. So, what are the cost of living in Germany approximately for students? Accommodation ranges from 300 to 500. This is considered valid as of this month and as of this year 2025, 300 to 500 for spouse, 300 to 400 for accommodations. So for those that are they don't want to live with their husband, probably the husband is staying in an hostel, okay, or in an apartment that cannot accommodate the children and all, they can get their own accommodation, and which is 300 to 400 on a monthly basis. Okay, you have transportation, you have health insurance, and all. So just like I mentioned, for post-study work opportunities, when once you're done with your studies, you can stay back for 18 months to work to get a resident permit, and then within this month you can work full time. Once you're done with your studies, you can wait extra 18 months. So within this month you can work full time while you work at changing your resident status. Then if you secure a job related to your degree and meet salary threshold, you can apply for an EU green card or a German work permit. Okay, you have a potential of permanent residency in 33 or 21 months with good German language skills. So if you have a good German language skills, it will reduce to 21 months, but if not, you have to wait for 33 months. Thank you very much for your rapt attention. Um, I've come to the end of my presentation. So um, please kindly drop your questions if you have any in the chat. Okay, so yeah, the organizer. Please, I'll give. Hello. Please, if you have any question, um, kindly drop your questions in the chat box. It will be attended to accordingly. Please drop your questions in the chat box. So, Divine, over to you. Hello, Divine, are you there? Over to you, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Divine.
Okay. So thank you very much, Mr. Prosper, for that very, very insightful session. And I hope everyone has gotten one or two from that. I hope you've learned a lot. A lot in that state and session. So up next is our guest speaker. His name is Ayodeji Fakunle. He's a software engineer, originally from Nigeria, currently based in Germany. And in 2022, he relocated to Germany to pursue a second bachelor's degree in software engineering. Inspiring, right? Now, he currently works at Perto GmbH, where he specializes in developing software integrations for HVAC systems. Ayodeji is a passionate person and is passionate about technology, global mobility, and continuous learning. And he looks forward to sharing valuable insights from his relocation journey and study experience in Germany. Now, give it up for Mr. Ayodeji Fakunle as he comes up.
Hi guys, hello.
Welcome.
Hi, thank you for the introduction. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Mr. Ayodeji.
Okay. Yeah. What should I say now? Should we go into the questions now?
Yes, we have a couple of questions for you, sir.
Okay. All right. Bring it in then.
Okay. Okay, so our first question to you today is what inspired your decision to study in Germany, and how did you go about choosing your school and program?
Okay, I did not study software engineering in my first degree. I studied history, but I like computers, and I started learning how to program in my fourth year of my first university. Um, so basically, I discovered that there's a big gap. I needed to like actually study software engineering because I do not understand a lot of the things I learned. And I started making research. I went to Google, I browsed through all the universities. But what I wanted was actually a university where I can get to learn and actually write codes. So I don't want a theoretical university, and this is what drive me to the university where I currently study. It's called Code University of Applied Sciences. You can also check that up. And basically, we do project-based learning, and we don't have it. So you write code, you learn, and yeah. So this is the reason why I chose Germany to my university. I could not find the same university somewhere else. I checked Canada, I checked the United States. Nope. But in Germany, I found this university. Um, but this was my first inspiration. And when I went down the rabbit hole, I discovered that there's actually Germany, right? Like the German system, um, the free education, the high-paying jobs, um, the transport system, the social system, and most especially, Berlin is like an international state in Germany where you get to meet people from different backgrounds, different communities, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, I hope that answers the question.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned that you did not, your university, you don't write exams. That's like really, really shocking for me first. And I'm sure a lot of people would probably have questions about that, but we'll go on to that. From visa application to landing in Germany as someone who moved solo.
Okay. So I started applying in like 2020, but there was Corona, so it was a bit difficult to travel at that point, and I had to postpone my resumption date to 2021. Um, but unfortunately, it was still difficult because it's still post-corona, so traveling was hard. And at the German embassy, they said it's going to take about a year before they grant you an appointment, not even the actual visa. So I just applied anyways to the embassy in Lagos. And for my university, we moved remotely. So we did the first, and I was able to like meet some of my colleagues, students. I made friends, and yeah, that helped me a lot in when I moved to Germany. But then, 2022, I got an invitation in February, but unfortunately, my block account was not yet reflecting on my German account. So it was very difficult for me to go to the embassy for my interview. But I went anyways, and uh, yeah, they could not do the interview, as you guessed right. So I was writing a mail back to the embassy, informed them of the difficulty. Actually, at that point, there was like it was difficult to send money to the block account. I remember we were having like uh, the government actually blocked direct deposits, so you have to buy dollar or buy euro or something like. This was quite difficult to do. Um, so I guess the embassy understood. Um, the embassy understood that it was difficult, so they had to give me like a second chance, uh, like a few months, and they called me back for my interview. So I went for the interview. I presented, I answered the question, gave them my document, and then about 6 weeks after, I was called for my visa. Uh, I booked a one-way flight to Berlin and disappeared. So basically, that's it. Hello.
So if you have questions for the first speaker, kindly indicate that your questions are for the first speaker. Did everyone get that? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. So what I was saying was that if you have questions for the first speaker, kindly indicate in the chat box that your questions are for the first speaker. If you have questions for the second speaker, kindly indicate that your questions are for the second speaker. Thank you very much. So now, Mr. Ayodeji, on to the third question. What was your biggest cultural shock or adjustment when you arrived in Germany?
Um, like a lunch, and I was quite surprised that we got to drink beer together in the lunch. It's quite shocking for me, and this actually proves that in Germany there's like a very big work-life balance where people get to work hard and also enjoy very hard. And you get to do a lot of social stuff with your colleagues at work, like going for barbecue in the park, going for drinks at night, and some other stuff. But apart from that, I also was actually shocked about the orderliness. People are very order, like they are very strict to their rules here in Germany. If they tell you no, they need to know. And this was quite shocking for me. Yeah. Uh, Hello. Okay. Yeah, I just remember to say that. So there was a time where I took the yeah, and you're supposed to present this. That was it. I tried to explain from heaven and earth to tell them that I forgot my card and this and that. But yeah, I just have to pay the fine. So that was quite not a good story to tell. But yeah, it just shows that they are very strict here in Germany. Oh, shit. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Mr. Ayodeji.
Okay, someone said my network was breaking. I hope you did not miss a lot. Uh, oh, okay. So
Sorry,
what's
I'm
the
back.
next question?
Can you
Yeah.
hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So our fourth question is how did you manage to balance studying and working part-time, and what kind of jobs are typically available for international students?
Okay. Yeah, thank you for that. So there's something called Feierabend, um, translate to celebration evening or end of work day. It's like an event where people get to leave work and just go have fun. So just as I mentioned earlier, Germany is big on work-life balance, and you have to take your job seriously, but you also have to ensure that you take your health, your well-being seriously too. Um, like even your bosses will tell you to do this, right? It's very important for them. So that's one of the ways. Also, my university used to have a free gym for us. Like they encourage sporting activities here in Germany. There are a lot of sporting groups you could join. There are a lot of social groups you could join. If you like to paint, there's a group for you here. If you like food, there's even a bigger group for you here. You just have to find them. So work-life balance, it's something that just comes to you. It's like a culture here. So yeah. And talking about what kind of jobs you get to have here. So one thing I always tell people moving abroad or coming to Germany is to have a skill. If you do not have a skill, it might be very difficult for you to get the uh, cool jobs like software engineering, for example. Um, but yeah, you get to have jobs like software engineering, you get to have jobs like design, project management, as you know. But also more importantly, some of the hottest jobs here at the moment are um, electrical engineering, for example. You know how to do wirings and stuff, mechanical engineering, um, and stuff like this. These are very nursing. If you yeah, these are like jobs that are hot, like because Germany need more people like this. But also, if you do not yet have this kind of skills, you still get to work in places like Amazon as a delivery person, or you work in the Amazon stores to help them carry stuff like a packager or something like this. And to my surprise, some of these Amazon jobs are actually quite paying well compared to even some people who are designers. Yeah. Um, Also, you get to do food delivery. For example, if you know how to like ride a bicycle, it's pretty not super hard. You just get a bicycle, you download a food delivery app, you register, and you start making deliveries, and then you get paid. You could also work in a coffee shop, for example. Um, just to point out, these are the jobs that here I'm talking about. They are for like working student jobs, and not for like a full time. But it's just something to get by, yeah, day by day. Yeah, so that's it.
All right. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much. And also, our final question for you before we go into questions from the participants in this meeting. Looking back, what do you wish you had known before making the move? And what advice would you give to someone planning to study in Germany alone?
So I would say start applying very early. Like it's very important you apply early. And even more importantly, try to get all your documents ready. It's like the first thing you need to do when you're trying to move abroad. Like get all your documents, your transcript, your certificates, your CV, everything should be intact. Because when you have this, it's actually going to motivate you to want to apply, and to help you in the speed of application because you have everything ready. So you just keep applying to different schools that you want to go to. That's one. Um, Secondly, is block account is not negotiable. It's just as this first speaker said, once you put your money in a block account, you can't take it out until you get to Germany or you get a rejection visa, then you are refunded your money. So you can't really use someone else's money and promise them that you are going to pay back, blah, blah, blah. It's not proof of fund, so it's quite different. So if you're going to be getting someone's money, you need to ensure you inform them that this is how it goes. Um, yeah, watch tons of video about Germany and about the school you want to apply to, because this is going to help you to build your motivation to actually want to apply. One, it will help you to also write your SOP, right? Because you already know the things in Germany when you watch the video. For example, one of the things might be, oh, your children, if you have kids in the future, they will get free education. This is something interesting for you, right? So you can add that in your SOP, that one of the things that motivate you to want to come to Germany is you like the system in Germany, you like how organized it is. Maybe you want to build a company or you want to network with people who are building companies. Uh, Berlin, for example, is like known for their startup culture. So it's also like something you can add to your SOP, but you would not know this if you do not make research and watch the video. So try to connect with Germany, find something you're interested in that motivates you to actually want to come to Germany. And yeah, also, yeah, one of the things I wish I had done is start looking for work when I arrived. So it took me a while to start looking for work because I was still like, okay, I have my local account. So what could happen? I was doing other stuff, taking it slowly. Um, and I actually underestimate how long it's going to take you to get a job. So this is one thing I used to say. Germany needs immigrants, actually, they do, but it's not like when you come here, they are going to come, the German government will come begging you on their knees that here you can have a job. No, you still have to apply for a job, and this takes time. Yeah, it takes time. So I would say when you arrive, just start applying for job. Just start something, like even if it's Amazon delivery or you're working in a restaurant, you get paid good money actually. Yeah. And lastly is that yeah, just this is not to correct, but just to clarify, um, if you are doing a 2 year or 3 year degree program, in your second year, once you're able to get a job that is paying you, you do not need a block account anymore. When going to renew your resident permit, you can just present this to them and they're going to give you a resident permit. So this is what I do, and this is what a lot of people did also. So yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Ayodeji, for that very inspiring session and for answering all our questions. Very, very straight to the point, easy, and everything. And okay, so from the chat box, we have a question from Unduka Asikwe Keshi. He's saying that if an applicant has a sponsorship letter from a resident in Germany, does it stand as a waiver for the blocked account?
Yes, it does, but you also have to clarify and you have to be direct. Uh, the uh, the person sponsoring you cannot be a student, so the person has to have a job working here in Germany and has enough means in terms of money to take care of you. So it's basically just to prove that the person can take care of you. And yeah, it stands as a waiver for block account. But one thing also I have to add is that when processing the visa, people with sponsorship letter usually take a little bit more time before you get a response because they need to check everything, like all the documents from your sponsor.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so someone is asking, is HND accepted?
Okay.
I think this should be for this question.
Yeah.
Prosper.
Yeah, it should be.
Mr. Prosper, are you there?
Yes, I can hear you, Divine. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So someone is asking.
Okay. It varies. It varies actually. There are some programs, there are some schools that will accept HND for a direct master's program. Then that means that you need to have HND upper division and you have to have a quality work experience to back that up. There are a few schools that would do that, would accept HND for masters. So you have to have a good grade and you have to have a good work experience, substantial enough to back that up. Well, but a lot of schools do not accept HND for a direct masters in Germany. A lot of schools do not. But there are the few schools that do, they have strict prerequisites to be followed before getting you admissible.
Okay, thank you very much for that. I hope whoever asked that question, I hope it has been answered for you. And the next question is, how about educational courses? Educational courses or psychology, are they also accepted for study in Germany? Mr. Prosper, could you answer that?
Yeah, they have a wide number of programs that are available. Although there are some prominent programs that people apply for, and that was what I listed earlier. But that doesn't mean that education programs or education psychology related programs are not available. But you know, when I had to consider the highly sought after programs that people apply to, and that was what informed what I wrote in my presentation slides. But it's not that the programs are not available. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Mr. Prosper. And also, just a side note, please, if you're amongst the first 10 people to attend this webinar, to log into this webinar, we have free SOPs, free SOP reviews, free CV reviews, and resume reviews for you. You are our lucky winner for this, and we'll reach out to you after the close of this event. So now let's continue with our questions. And also, for those who want to get on the registration process, the application process, visas, and everything, send us a DM at a_a resume on Instagram to get started. Just send us a DM. Also to indicate what you really need, just type Germany and then would automatically understand that, okay, you're here coming from a webinar and you want to start and get your application process rolling. Thank you very much. And moving forward, someone is also asking, I'd like to apply for educational courses. Okay, if you'd like to apply for educational courses, send us a DM. I will get the application sorted for you. A_a resume. That's the Instagram handle that you're sending a DM to. Okay, someone is also asking, Didi, can I travel together with my dependents, or I have to go first and they join me after some months? Mr. Prosper, over to you.
Okay. The visa application process for dependents coming in is basically via family reunification visa. So that means that the applicant is expected to uh, be there first, then the dependents will join later. It's basically a family reunification visa.
Okay, thank you very much. Also, the two, someone else is asking, the two visas you mentioned, which one allows dependents, or does the two, I think the person's trying to ask if both visas mentioned allow dependents, or which of them allows you bringing along a dependent? Mr. Prosper, over to you.
Thank you very much, Divine. Now, just like I mentioned while making the presentation, um, the student applicant visa can be converted um, once you get there, and you know, before you leave your country. For example, before you leave Nigeria, you are expected to have an application submitted page or an evidence that your application has been submitted. So once you get there and your offer letter is being released, you can you can change the status of the application. You can change the status of your visa, student visa. You can apply for visa and get your yes, you can get your student visa for that period. So it is convertible. So once you get it converted, you can your dependent can join you. So even if you are applying as a student visa, I mean you are applying for a student visa initially, or you are applying for a student applicant visa, the ultimate aim is that when you get there, if you are going on a student applicant visa, you get to maybe it's basically most of the times it's basically for language for those that want to learn a particular language or German language before the commencement of their program. Probably they've checked online and they realize that the mode of or the English the language of communication is basically German, and they feel that there's a need for them to go earlier to go and learn that before the commencement of their program. So once they do that, once you get there, you will still have to convert that student applicant visa to a study visa, then a resident permit, okay, that would allow you to stay there throughout the program of throughout the duration of your program, okay, um, before you can now change the status of the visa application. So basically, they can go with dependent for both applications or for both visas.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Mr. Prosper. And for those who have been listening and who have stayed through to the end, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I know and I hope that you've learned so much. And on to the last question. Deborah Omoni is asking, I want to confirm if AA Resume charges for application support in the case where I want to use your application service for the application. And do I need my documents to be legalized before applying? Is it not possible? Okay, there's so many questions, but so I think Prosper, please answer the first and
Okay.
then answer the next one.
Okay, well, I didn't get the first question, but I
She's
would try and
asking- Okay,
okay.
but okay, the next question is okay, Deborah Omoni. Another thing you can do is send us a DM at A_A resume with Germany as your title, Germany, and then we'll understand what you're asking for and would go ahead with you. She's asking also, do I need my documents to be legalized before
Okay, for applying admission application, you don't need a legalized document. You don't need your document to be legalized for admission application purpose, but for visa, you need legalization. You may need legalization or authentication because they are foreign public documents which would have to undergo attestation or legalization. Okay, the purpose is to test to confirm the genuinity and yes, to confirm if the document you are presenting is actually genuine and authentic. So you may need to undergo legalization until- for the visa application, not for the admission application.
Okay, I hope that question has been answered. Another question she has is it is it not possible to waive the blocked account part of the application? And also for those who do not have personal funds for the blocked account, as an agent or an expert in the field, what would you recommend to applicants who want to apply but can't afford the entire funding for the blocked account?
Well, uh, just like Mr. Ayode in the in when I was presenting, it is a must for you to provide the blocked account. It cannot be waived. It it cannot be waived. And unlike US, Canada, UK, you can actually borrow funds. For example, if you are my close friend and I can tell you that guy, please borrow me this particular amount of money just to run proof of fund. But this one, the blocked account is different. You have to put it in there and you have it will be blocked Okay, it is when you get there that you will be asked to you'll be allowed some certain amount of money per month. Okay, so it is a must. It is a must. There are institutions, there are German institutions, there are financial institutions, there are also here in Nigeria that do blocked account processing. That do blocked account processing. For more information, I would want you to send us a DM and we would guide you through the appropriate channel.
All right, thank you very much. And asking for on how to get their application started, visas, school application, and whatnot, send us a DM at a_a resume on Instagram, and we'll get this started for you. So are there further questions? If you have other questions, please send it in the chat box right now.
Okay,
If you have questions,
thank you, Divine.
okay.
I could see a question here. Germany link to register for student applicant visa. Germany link to register for student applicant. Yeah. If you want to do that, if you type on Google, Google is accessible. Okay, but then you might not be able to know the authentic website to visit, the genuine website. There are so many websites flying around it, so you will not fall victim of scam or fraudulent activities. So if you want to process your visa, we can assist you through that. So just like Divine said, just send us a DM. We would assist you with that. I hope I've been able to answer your question, Isioma.
All right, thank you very much. I'm seeing some anonymous questions from the anonymous link we sent out back. Someone is asking, as someone's uncles in Germany, can they sponsor me to Germany instead of doing the blocked account? Prosper, over to you.
That's enough. Cool. That's enough. Cool.
Hello, Prosper, are you there? Prosper, are you there? Can everyone hear me?
I can hear
Hello?
you.
Oh, okay. So, Mr. Ayodeji, could you help us answer this question? As someone who has uncles in Germany, can they sponsor me to study in Germany instead of doing the blocked account?
Yes, they can. They can sponsor you. Yeah. It's just that you have to be sure that they have the required capital to sponsor you, because I don't know the amount. There's a certain amount of money that is needed, like maybe 1,500 euros, something that needs for you to sponsor someone else.
Okay. Thank you very much. Someone is asking if an HND students can also apply for masters.
Unfortunately, that I can answer.
Okay. Okay. So that's all the questions left now. And someone else is asking in the chat box, Deborah, how do we know those that are qualified for the giftings of okay. So would send you a DM or announce it on the group chat. There's a community for the people who registered for this webinar. So we'll announce it right there to the 10 qualified people who got the opportunity of coming here first. We have a list already of those 10 people, and then we'll send you a message on the group or text you privately to let you know that you've been awarded your free SOP, free CV reviews, and whatnot. All right. Do we have further questions? Prosper, are you back?
No question, but I just wanted
Yes,
to add. Oh, okay.
Okay, Mr. Ayodeji, you can go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Just to also mention that I, I and some people, my friends, like we were working on a website called migrantguide.co. It's just a platform that we curated all like resources you need to like when you get to Germany, for example, how do you go about applying for registration for your apartment or getting an apartment actually? So it's just a whole set of curated list of things you need to do from looking for admission to coming to Germany. And also we partner with a resume so that you can get all the professional services. So if you go to migrant.guide.co, you could register. The website is on, but the resources are still coming in. So yeah, just to let you know. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much for that. Everybody would send you the link, migrantguide.co, to, for everything you need. And yeah, it's created by our host here, Mr. Ayodeji. So check it out and look it up. We'll send you the link as well to your communities, whichever ones you belong to. If it's the Germany community or the general community, would send it right there. And migrantguide.co is in partnership with AA Resume. So you have the best hands to help you with everything that you need. Okay. And okay, someone is already posting it in the community. You guys are amazing. Thank you very much for being super amazing and for joining this meeting today. Okay. Deborah is already on the link on the migrantsguide.co. That's nice. So if you have further questions, please do well to ask. Do well to ask. Awesome. We're already getting DMs of people sending Germany. I know you guys are ready to get started. Don't worry, you will get started. And let's just quickly wrap this up. And if we have no further questions, we'll be wrapping up soon. If you have no further questions, we'll wrap up soon. So let us know if you have any other questions. Okay, since there are no further questions, thank you so much. Thank you so much to everyone who has joined today. I hope this session has brought you clarity, encouraged practical steps towards studying in Germany with your dependents or even, yeah. And a huge thank you to Ayotunde Baba for breaking down the process so clearly, and to Ayodeji Fakunle for sharing his honest experience of life as a student and a man in Germany. And also remember, moving abroad isn't just about a visa. It's about preparing wisely, knowing your options, and having the right support. And that's why we at AA Resume are here to help you get started. Now, whether it's your application, your academic writing, or your settlement advice, everything it is that you need, we've got you. We've got the right hands on deck to make the process seamless for you. Now, if you want to take the next step, please do not hesitate to send us a DM at A_A resume on Instagram, A_A resume on Instagram to get started. And once again, thank you all for joining today. And we wish you the very best on your journey to Germany to study or whatever it is you want to do. And until next time, stay focused, stay ready, and keep pushing forward. I remain your humble host, Divine. And thank you guys for joining. And would send you DMs to the winners who have who came in here early. The first 10 people, you get your DM and let you know how to get started. And do not forget to follow us on Instagram at A_A resume. Thank you very much. We're available on TikTok and Facebook.